So, for the last 16 months I've been applying Minoxidil, hoping that my cheeks start to grow some facial hair. Oh, the cheeks grew hair alright, just not the cheeks I wanted. Well lads, what is the crack? What's going? What? Well lads, what is the crack? My name is Philip. Welcome back to the channel. This is Tips for Him, where I do men's fashion, grooming and lifestyle related content. Anything from how to dress to impress to how not to piss off the missus and wind up in the doghouse. So if that sounds like anything you're interested in, then do subscribe right now. It's down there, it's free, and it just means you get to see some really good content that I have planned. So it has been roughly about 16 months since I decided to start a Minoxidil journey, and the results have been pretty rewarding so far. Although the butt hair, not a big fan, if you believe. Yeah, don't recommend it. But for those of you who have been following me for a while, you might remember you might remember that 10 months ago I did a 4-month progression of the Minoxidil journey. And for those of you who haven't seen it, then give it a look. It's grand, it's decent. Now since that video, there has been a couple of things that I have tried and implemented to see if I can get better results. Anything from Dermarolling to adding LCLT plus peppermint oil in with Nivea Soft, to actually using 12.5% Minoxidil for a couple of months. Now in particular, for the last 4 months, I have been using LCLT plus peppermint oil mixed with Nivea Soft, along with LCLT mixed with Minoxidil, and consistently Dermarolling. So those few techniques and those methods have been what I've been using the most for the last 4 months. Now in terms of LCLT plus peppermint oil with Minoxidil, I'm not entirely sure just how much it is benefiting me or how much results I'm getting from it. I feel like with the length of time that I've been using all of these things for the last 4 months, I feel like I should have better results than I currently do right now. So I would say it's probably mainly Minoxidil and Dermarolling that has been giving me a little bit better results as of lately. But granted, it has been 4 months, so I don't really know if that is sufficient time to be seeing results anyways. However, sure, I'll just let the pictures speak for themselves, and you can see for yourselves if I've grown anything or if there's much improvements. I think there's a little bit of improvement, just not as much as I was hoping. So now that you've seen kind of where I've come from to what I am currently right now, the last couple of pictures, as you've seen there, have only been taken a couple of days ago, so it's a more up-close version of what I have right now. I think if my cheeks can continue to progress along the way that it has, then I'll be pretty happy with coverage and hopefully I'll get a bit more density along with it. Feel free to let me know what you thought down below in the comments. If you think that my beard is almost fully terminal right now, or if it's still in its like early progression stages, or just what you think of it in general. So like I said, lately I've been pretty consistent using Kirkland 5% mixed with LCLT and Dermarolling, but before that I was using Morr 12.5% Minoxidil. At the start I only got 2 bottles because I wanted to see kind of how I'd react in terms of results and also side effects, and mainly because it cost them €60 for just 2 bottles. I mean, that's fucking steep. Oh, awful steep, lads. Jesus. For a finish, I didn't even end up using both of the bottles. Now, while I was absolutely delighted with myself that I had absolutely no side effects from the 12.5%, however, I didn't actually experience much improvements, although if I had been dermarolling correctly and consistently, I think I might have seen some better results. For a finish, I ended up having more issues than good with it. First off, the price for 2 bottles for €60, it's too much. It's feckin' steep. Also, the sticky residue that it left after it dried in was also quite annoying. It was perfect for when you went to work because you didn't have to deal with flaky skin, but when it came to laying down on the couch or going to bed, it was very sticky even after it's been left for about 4 hours to dry, and that was just something that really wrecked my head. But honestly, the worst issue overall for me was, for some reason, while using Morr, I kept getting really big and sore abscess around my jawline. Generally it would be just underneath here and on the sides, and they were incredibly painful. At the time I was occasionally dermarolling, but however I was using a fake roller at the time that I didn't know, and this probably could have just contributed to causing more problems than good, since abscess can form by bacteria getting into a cut, like when you shave or use a dermaroller, and amongst other reasons. So around December time, I had gotten an unmerciful fucking abscess on my jaw, and it left me needing antibiotics, and for the 2 to nearly 3 weeks that it took for the swelling to go down, I actually gave myself a break from using anything apart from just good skincare products. But I didn't do any dermarolling, and I did absolutely no minoxidil for those whole 2 weeks. So I probably lost a little bit of what Morr would have been giving me if I continued using it. After the swelling went down, I just completely decided to stop using it altogether, and I ordered a new batch of Kirkland 5%, and for the last 4 months of being on that, I've gotten maybe 2 abscesses. I'm starting to think I'm just pretty prone to getting them, because once they're there, you can't really not get rid of them unless you take out the sac. But regardless, I think Morr was my biggest issue when it came to that. The ones I've gotten while being on Kirkland have been very small and have gone generally on their own within a couple of days and haven't caused me that much issues. But with Morr, now I wasn't taking weekly or monthly pictures like that I probably should have, but if you can see in this photo here, you can kind of see that my cheeks are starting to fill in a little bit, and that was just before I stopped using the 12.5%. Now, I do think it was starting to work at that time, but honestly, between the residue, the price, and just the constant spots that I was getting from it, it's not really worth it for me. I'd rather take a little bit longer to get where I need to. Now, although my results aren't anything, to rant and rave about, I mean, they're not exactly outstanding results, but I do feel like with dermarolling, it has definitely helped improve my cheeks, which is something that I've been wanting. As you can see on the photo here, there's a very big difference between May 25th and the previous months that I took the photo. And yes, dermarolling, it does actually work, granted that you use the correct tools. So if you see anyone online or anywhere else or telling you otherwise that dermarolling doesn't help for growing a beard or filling in patches, well then send them my way. I'll sort them out for you. Also, if you're a little bit uncertain about what dermaroller to buy in terms of real and fake, I have done a video. I'll link it up here for you to go and check out. I put a lot of work into it, and I do think it's very beneficial for you. It's a bit of a long one, it's about 15 minutes long, but it's definitely worth it for your time to watch it, to make sure that you are doing dermarolling correctly and buying the correct tools and how to avoid the wrong ones. Now, regarding what hairs of mine are terminal or still vellus or shedding phases, I'm not entirely sure when it comes to shedding, because as most experienced Minox users will know, that shedding can happen at any point. There is no guarantee of when shedding is going to happen. It could happen for someone who's 7 to 8 months in on the journey, or it could happen to someone who's 14 to 15 months in. And also, the shedding phase can be very subtle, or it can be very, very obvious, and it just depends on the person. For me, I haven't noticed actually any shedding, and if I have been shedding, it's probably more likely like subtle shedding. At least I hope that's what's been happening. At least I hope that's kind of what's happened with my cheeks. I hope that I've just been constantly and subtly shedding without really knowing, and just thinking that nothing's really growing there. So I just don't know, boss. I don't know. No idea. As of now, I currently don't have any set time when I'm going to stop using Minoxidil. I'm probably more likely just going to keep going until I either reach the results that I'm happy with, or else I just get fed up of applying it. I mean, the Minoxidil journey is not an easy journey to stay committed to, and it does take up quite a lot of time, so it's either going to be one or the others for me. I think if I could get good density and coverage for my cheeks, kind of like what I have on my chin, then I'd probably be okay to start the quitting process of Minoxidil. But for now, I'm probably just going to stick to Dermarolling consistently, and I may give Tugin or Mint Top 10% a try for 6 months and see if things can improve from there. So lads, that's it. Obviously, I didn't get the results that I was hoping to have into my journey. I expected to have a little bit better results, but honestly, you got to remember that Minoxidil is not a race, it's a marathon, and consistency is key, and just be grateful for what you can accomplish. Personally, I'm delighted with what I've gotten so far. I mean, you saw what I came from literally nothing, and it should only hopefully get better from there. And for anyone who is interested, down in the description box I will leave an outline of my exact routine. So everything from when I apply Minoxidil to Dermarolling to what moisturizers I use after. So everything that I do, I'll have it down there, and it'll be easy enough for you to see if you want to go and check that out. As always, any questions, requests, or comments, drop them down below. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, what are you waiting for? Hit me face up there, give him a slap. And don't forget to hit that sneaky bell icon. He's a sneaky little devil, that lad. And until next time, lads, sláinte.